What video game caused you the most amount of rage? Probably one of the early NES Castlevania games. I'm not sure which one, but it was one of those long platforms jumps. One of the few times in my life I have thrown a controller. I've heard those early Castlevania games are nicknamed controller busters or something like that. Runner-up, Jet Bike level of Battletoads. Simon's Quest, the second one, is generally regarded as the black sheep. Kinda like how Zelda 2 was, because it's based around exploration and the secrets are really obscure, like waiting for the tornado. Unlike in other games like that, the townsfolk are worthless and half the sh they tell you is so poorly translated it basically means something completely different. I never hated a game, myself, or the people around me more than the one time I played Overcooked. My entire family played Overcooked one time and we were advancing really quickly. We were on this Arctic map I think and I accidentally pushed my mom into a pool of water while she was delivering the last meal we needed to win the level. We failed. I never thought a rocking pirate ship could cause so much anxiety and hate. I had to ban my wife from playing it, with our, then, 8 and 10-year-olds. Man. Expecting a 10-year-old not to make a game out of just punching the rat and expecting an 8-year-old to not have the prioritization skills to get overloaded and occasionally stand in the way. You would have thought someone colored on the walls and tie-dyed the dogs. Yeah, we haven't played it in a long time. Not even out of quarantine desperation. Some PC baseball game I bought at the Scholastic Book Fair in the 90s. It booted out of dues. I must have just been too young or accidentally set the difficulty too high but I literally couldn't get a hit. I ended up crying and throwing the game away. At least you got that toxicity out of your life. You'll better not be talking shon backyard baseball, man. I loved working on that game. I still have my custom Pablo bat the studio gave to employees, the other backyard sports series, and the junior adventure games too. Humongous Entertainment was a great place to work at the time. Guitar Hero 2 expert playthrough, just the song Freer. My pre-teenage hands were just too small to be able to consistently hold the Gren button and have to stretch to the orange. On the plus side I did feel like a rockstar smashing the guitar. That song is the most cramp-inducing song ever. Effin' jam, though, the sword is a kick-a band. Sonic 3, the Carnival Night Barrel. The maddening thing about it is that it's so easy to get past. Once you know the bullsh method of doing it. See, you've just gotta understand that Sonic can generate more vertical force by looking up and down than he can by actually jumping on something. Apparently. Echo the Dolphin. I consider it one of my favorite games but the difficulty curve is super wonky. The lagoon was the third level and by far one of the most difficult ones in the entire game. I owned this game for years and never got off the first screen. I thought the whole game was just swimming around in that little cove. I was a stupid kid. Dude, effing same. I swam around and around trying to find something, anything. I thought it was just broken. This is the first time hearing that it's an actual game and not a dolphin swimming simulator. I could never get past the stupid octopus right at the beginning. Swim slowly past 8 arms. Worst thing is the octopus appears again in the lagoon. Ghosts and Goblins on the NES. F that effing game. Some vintage games are designed to be coin guzzlers for arcades. Ghost and Goblins are one of those. SCOM. Critical tactical situation. Life and death. 99% chance to hit. Swing and a miss. I love the game and effing hate it. My favorite Steam review of all time is the guy who said there's a 99% chance he would recommend the game, and then gave it a thumbs down. 3 inches from alien while holding a shotgun. Miss. And in this case the alien is a 10-foot tall roided up juggernaut that takes up his entire field of vision. What really causes me to rage isn't just my shots missing. It's that they miss and then the enemy makes impossible shots immediately after. How the F do I miss 3-4 shots with 80% or more chance of hitting an arrow and then a effing thin man one-shots my best medic from across the map with a height disadvantage, while my medic is in full cover. Aladdin where you gotta go through the lava cave on the rug. And Lion King. F the Hakuna Matata waterfall. That's what I've been waiting to read. That level can only be described in UK English as CH. My best friend's little brother had memorized this level, and kids from the block would have Mike beat it for them. We'd be hanging out and some kid would knock on the door and ask Mike to come do the lava cave. I still remember that, almost 30 years later. The Simpsons. Hit and Run. Anyone who played it knows, I love this game. I wish they'd do a re-release. That said, a level where you are chasing Cletus, I think, at a high speed, ramming him so he drops roadkill that you somehow have to also collect, without him getting too far ahead, can F right off. Personally, PvP in any sort of game, be it Destiny, Rocket League, CS, COD, League, I can't stand playing PvP in games anymore. Used to only play PvP game types. Now if I have to touch any PvP mode I absolutely detest my time and hate every second of it. I don't know if it's because I'm average at said game and the competitiveness of it drives to anger, or because of teams not working to win at all, or the fact that I'm a bit more mature and older than I was. I don't know, but I know for a fact a good story-based game will always, 100% of the time, make me so much happier and I will enjoy it so much more. Geometry Dash, for me it was the original version, the impossible game. GTA San Andreas with that mission of flying a plane through the corona on the other plane. Also GTA San Andreas with the mission of trying to fly an RC plane shooting vans while David Cross shouts at you. I want to say the RC helicopter mission in VC was worse. Rainbow Six Siege, where the F did he shoot Emmy from? Tom Clancy's how the F was that not a headshot? Tom Clancy's how much health does a refine 3 speed have? Can't clutch the 1 volt 5 vote to kick. Super Mario Sunshine and the damn secret levels. Don't understand how anyone can love those levels. For Honor for sure, no game has taken me to the same level of pure anger, or Orochi spams light and runs away. I need therapy after reading this comment. I still find bits of controller all over my room. Most of online PvP game. Because my internet connection is a Cuphead. RIP. My controller. That effing dragon took years off my life. The first time I played Cuphead, it was on my old laptop, which ran every boss fight perfectly fine except good old Matchstick. As soon as he brought out his other 2 heads, my game would lag so badly and go down to about 10 FPS. Beating him at that frame rate with 1 heart left is still one of my biggest gaming accomplishments ever. Getting over it. If you don't have that golden pot, then you haven't gotten over Bennett Foddy. I oddly find getting over it extremely relaxing, and find myself laughing more than raging when I fall 1000 feet. Are you a demon? Oregon Trail. You kill a buffalo that weighs 7 million pounds. You take 100 pounds with you. Battletoads level 3. I am 37 and I still am not over that level. Look at this badass over here, getting to level 3, and honestly there are worse levels. Rocket League. After 2,500 hours it's more rage than fun and I should stop playing. I played several hundred hours without even realizing you could play competitive ranked matches without Rocket Pass. I basically thought you had to pay for Rocket Pass to play ranked. I thoroughly enjoyed the game up to this point and rarely had toxic experiences. Then I found out about ranked. I played competitive and lasted about a week before quitting the game completely. Haven't played in months and don't plan to. I even played console so I didn't encounter many players with keyboards so rarely did I get chat other than the presets. I never thought something so simple as what a save or nice shot would send me over the edge. I'm 40 years old and one of the calmest people ever. Trying to explain the toxicity to someone who has never played is actually kind of comical. My non-gaming friends are like, so you quit a game you loved because people would tell you nice shot when you missed. My non-gaming friends are like, so you quit a game you loved because people would tell you nice shot when you missed. LMAO. This game is the very reason I posted this question. I only have about 100 H. Never encountered such a toxic community. It's really bad. Change your chat to quick chat only. At least this helps against verbal toxicity. Or, if you don't mind being called words, I bait them into saying something the autoban system detects. Then I report them. Always gets them banned. Back in the day, my NES controller had bite marks in it because I didn't know you could save your general progress in Kid Icarus by writing down this code that appeared after you died. Yet I was determined to beat the game. I would spend hours making it to the end, only to die and be reset to the beginning of the game. This caused my 12-year-old brain to become flooded with the rage of a zombie horde, and so I would sink my teeth deep into the flesh of the controller until the dockins would subside. Modern children will never know the pain of not being able to look simple things up on the internet. I'll make my children go offline whenever I need to call someone. Good to know that someone else out there bit their controllers. There's a Sega Genesis controller out there with my 6-year-old teeth marks all over it. League of Legends, because either you get stomped by a much better opponent that is likely to be a smurf, or your teammates think they deserve to be on a higher elo but play like it's their first time. Even if you stay calm at some point, the hate other people put into the chat makes you rage as well. Everyone understands the need for a leader and a shot caller, but no one wants you to be either of those things, or anyone else. I feel like I had to scroll too far to see League of Legends. That game is a hot pile of toxic sludge, mostly coming from the community surrounding the game. Honestly, I think it's solo because it's too obvious. It's implied that all League players saw this post, thought about it for a second, cried and closed Reddit. Call of Duty. Just about any of them, but Warzone really gets me heated every time. Warzone should be at the top of this list. You could play that like a god, only for the most random, ill-timed nightmare to happen and kill you permanently. Ever play the game Black and White, where you play a god? My younger brother was an evil god who demanded human sacrifices and took ever other settlement by force. Eventually the ground cracked and lava spewed wherever his cursor was. I was a benevolent god who cared for my people and took over other settlements by making mine so nice the other populations all moved there. Flowers sprouted wherever I had my cursor. So anyway, my brother completed the game and I couldn't, because eventually my settlements would get destroyed by the game antagonists while I was busy building my people libraries. Even tried again as an adult and couldn't complete the game. I think I'm gonna die mad about it. Apparently it was frustrating for him that I cared more about adopting orphans than I did killing dragons. My favorite part of Skyrim is returning home at 3 AM after assassinating the Emperor of Tamriel, only to hear, "D'd why you get me a nothing? It's 3 in the morning, go the F to bed." Funny because I had no issues, but I was on the fence kind of god. I would help them, but occasionally throw a couple out to the ocean so they remember who's boss. As an adult, I hadn't thrown my controller for decades. This game made me throw my controller across the room. I had to tell myself, bro, this is a kid's game. How are you this mad? Minecraft on survival. Skeleton shot me down into lava deep underground with all my gear, respawned into my carefully constructed house with a creeper by my bed. Blew me up and I ended up at starter spawn with nothing. My roommate recently threw his monitor out the window because of similar circumstances. I wish I was kidding. Overwatch. It's like playing a game of soccer where everyone on your team wants to be striker and charges for the ball at the same time, leaving the goals wide open. Then they lose and be about no one being keeper. You've just described Rocket League, and that's even more like soccer. LOL, Rocket League is exactly like youth soccer. Every player really wants to hit the ball. They don't give a sh how they do it, or where the ball goes, they just all know that they must hit the ball by any means necessary. I'll repeat it as often as it needs to be said. Overwatch is a social experiment designed to figure out how quickly 6 perfect strangers can develop cabin fever. Go with lag. Dota 2, the climbing game where the guy is stuck in the pot. FIFA. Among Us. Not even the game itself, but public servers have pissed me off so much. It amazes me how stupid everyone can be. My last game, before uninstall me, Orange just came out of the vents. He is the imposter. Everyone. You seem sus. Me. Okay, but then please vote Orange when I die and you see I was not the imposter. Me was not the imposter. Several rounds later Orange wins. Red. I can vouch for White. He did scans. Black. I just saw green running from the body. Green. White sus. White wasn't the imposter. Yes, that and just leaving the game because they didn't get imposter, leaving the game to be more like 7 vs 2 imposters from the get-go. Ak Brotherhood. I swear to god Ezio is just magnetically attracted to the ground. I wouldn't even press any buttons and he would just effing yeet himself headfirst onto the ground. PUBG. Busted a crap full of cheating schbags, throw your controller across the room, most addictive game ever. Flappy Bird. A game so evil that it drove the developer to delete the game. HOLLOWKNIGHT. Still haven't beaten the Radiance. I just sort of gave up after beating the Hollow Knight. Maybe one day. Dark Souls. It's got a hell of a learning curve and learning to time dodges and parries properly took hours. Love the game, but it can make me mad faster than any other game I've played. Online PvP games have mostly been mentioned. My pick is Rocket League as well. But for single player games it has to be Sekiro. I was on a boss on my first playthrough and had been spending a couple days on it. I made it to a point where he only needed one more hit. But I was low health as well. I effed up and died. Threw my controller, busted, on the ground and had to go outside. I think that was the singular highest point of rage I have ever had. Do have a video if anyone wanted to see it. Mario Kart. I love my partner, but I absolutely will never forgive him for throwing a red shell at me right after getting blue shelled. I went from first to 8th like 2 feet from the end. I haven't understood murder fully until then, and every other time I've played it since.